everyone, it's time for us to go and take a look at the PlayStation 5, both I guess the digital and the disc model, and see if this console is still worth buying in the later part of 2023. Now I will tell you, this console is still completely worth buying. It's such an excellent device, and I still think it's completely worth buying. It has so much capability, so much quality, and what more can I say about it? The only difference we've really gotten even this particular year, besides the GTA 6 announcement and the PlayStation 5 Slim, there's not really a lot of other things that have happened with the PlayStation 5s. No big recalls, no big issues, lots of games that came out for this particular console, but there's nothing that we can look at and be like, oh, this console is not worth buying because of X, Y, and Z. It's not really the case, and that's a really big thing and a really big deal when you're getting a device like this, because you can actually go through and pick up this console in the used market for a little bit cheaper than you can in the brand new market. And that's another big asset going on for this particular console as well. So definitely I would recommend buying it. There's definitely no reason why I wouldn't recommend buying it. Now, the first thing is that with this particular console, it's actually, in a pretty good price range, I would say. Because the PlayStation 5 Slim has came out, you can buy a PS5 disc model or the digital model, the original models, for a little bit cheaper in the used market. In the brand new market, they're still about the same, but in the used market, you can actually get them for a little bit cheaper, which is actually super, super cool. So on the outside, you're still getting, the USB Type-C port on the front, which is amazing. You're getting a USB Type-A port on the front too, which is very nice if you want it, but having that USB-C port on the front is something that was very cool. I was surprised that the Xbox didn't bring it this year, but you do get it on these particular phones, or you get it on these particular consoles, which is something that's super cool to see. Now, on top of that, with the PlayStation 5s, you are also getting a very good design. They're significantly bigger than the PlayStation 5 Slim, but it's still a very good looking console, and I love both these consoles so much, the PS5 disc model and the digital model, and I do think for sure Sony did an excellent job with the design language of these consoles. On the backside, you have all the ports, the AC adapter, HDMI ports, you have endless capability and endless, you have the Ethernet port as well, that if you want to connect this thing to, you have a lot of I/O on this thing, which is still very cool to have. Now beyond that, on the outside, not much has changed. You can get new faceplates and everything, but there's not really anything different that we haven't already seen before here. On top of that though, there's some other pretty cool things. You are still getting lots and lots of games available for this particular console. Now, the one thing that I said back in 2020 when these consoles first came out was that most probably the overlap, meaning that the time spent overlapping between both these consoles, from the PlayStation 4 to PlayStation 5, is going to be much larger than you would probably imagine before. And that's essentially what ended up happening. There was a large gap between the PS5 and the PS4 in terms of, exclusive games and everything. But now that we're a few years in, I think that gap is narrowed down. And you are getting lots of not only exclusive, games and everything, but a lot of exclusive accessories as well. Things like the PSVR 2, which was something that was very cool. That is a very big upgrade coming from the PSVR 1. So if you're somebody who owns a PlayStation 4 and you are enjoying your PSVR 1, you might want to upgrade to the PS5 so you can get that PSVR 2, because it really is that big of a difference. And that's something that's super cool there. So that right there is another really, really big thing going on for that particular phone, for that particular console as well, which is a really big asset. So beyond that, there's not really a whole lot else that I look at and I'm like, okay, this console is severely outdated here. This console is not worth buying here at this point or that point. It's very much worth it. It's very, very good. I can't really think of anything where this console is not worth buying or where it's, not a good console anymore. The only thing that I would even kind of, slightly look at is that with the PlayStation 5, you are getting a better console if you go up to the PlayStation 5 Slim. So that might be the only thing I would even kind of consider. But beyond that, I still think the PS5 is still very good. You're getting lots of quality and lots of capability, and I think that console is a very good console to buy for sure. So that pretty much covers it up there. If you have any other thoughts or questions, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that'll mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.